Hi everybody, welcome back to 100% Mags. So this is your match review for the game against Leicester tonight at St James Park. Happy New Year as well to everybody, and I hope you all had an absolutely amazing night last night. But you know, today at the match, Newcastle just didn't seem to be very good. Obviously I wasn't at the match, I watched it at home on BT Sport, and I've got to say, you know, the way Newcastle played, I'm glad I wasn't at the match because absolute shambles. It was an absolute shambles of a display by Newcastle. You know, we had one good chance in the game, and that was wasted by Joe Linton. And then Jose Perez, you know, an old Newcastle United player, you know, he played with and he left for 30 million to go to Leicester. You know, he comes back to Newcastle. He's already played against us twice beforehand, obviously in the Carabao Cup and then in the league down at the King Power Stadium. You know, failing to score in both of them attempts. He gets his third attempt at St James's Park at the Gallagher end, and he bangs it into the back of the net 36 minutes into the game. You know, and what does he do? You think, oh, you know, he's going to show some respect to Newcastle United. You know, he's not going to celebrate because we are the team, you know, that brought him in to the league, you know, give him his chance in English football. But no, what does he do? He goes and celebrates in front of the Newcastle United fans, you know. And that's something that he should be absolutely disgraced at. He should feel ashamed of himself that he actually celebrated in front of the fans, you know, and especially as a player, you know, that knows what it's like at Newcastle, you know, knows what's going on behind the scenes, knows the absolute shit that is happening with the hierarchy at Newcastle, knows how corrupt things are in this city with Newcastle. You know, and he is celebrating in front of Newcastle fans, you know, that Leicester's scoring. You know, he should absolutely feel ashamed of himself. But then Leicester doubled their lead 39 minutes with Maddison. You know, I'll give it to him. It was a good goal by Maddison, but, you know, when you look at the fact that Newcastle's missing quite a few of the first team players, you know, Maximin's out, Kieran Clark's out, Matt Ritchie's out, Jamal Lascelles is out. There's so many players missing from the team, you know. No wonder Leicester came away 3-0 winners, you know. And then look at the game today, we lost 4 more players, you know. Fabian Shaw ended up going off with a hamstring problem. That left we're down to 10 men for the last of the second half, you know, for pretty much all of the second half. Then of course, Javier Manquillo and Jedward Williams went off in the first half. They had to be replaced with Emil Kraft for Manquillo and DeAndre Edlin for Williams. You know, and then Sean Longstaff came on as a substitute for John Joe Shelby. You know, we didn't get to see Andy Carroll come on today because Steve Bruce decided to go with a Japanese Yoshimutu, you know, that's barely even played for, you know, when he hasn't really done that much. Not offence to Mutu, of course, you know, it's not the lad's fault if he doesn't get game time, but still, you know, you've got an experienced player in Andy Carroll, a big 6'3" lad. He can absolutely dominate defences. He's proved it when he played against Man U, he proved it when he played against Everton, you know. And he could have absolutely dominated the Leicester defence today if he had have been playing from the off, if he had have got his chance in the game, you know. And it's just one of them things that absolutely baffles your mind at what Steve Bruce is thinking, you know, when he's picking these starting 11s. Because, to be honest, I could have ordered a piss up in a brewery better than that starting 11 today. That is how bad Steve Bruce was at picking that starting 11. You know, yes, you've got Martin Dubravka. Yes, you've got Javier Manquillo and Jedward Williams, you know, Fabian Shaw, Florent Lejeune. Somebody, you know, like Florent Lejeune shouldn't even been playing as many games as he's been playing, especially when he's only just come back off of 9 months of being out with 2 ACL injuries. You know, you're putting too much pressure on the lad to play. You're putting too much pressure on him. He's got to be given a break. You know, you could see it today. You know, he was lacking the stamina. He was lacking the energy in his game. And, you know, fair enough. You know, he's been out for 9 months. Of course he's going to be lacking energy. Of course he's going to be lacking stamina. And that is why you shouldn't be playing him for 3 games in a row now. You know, you've got to rotate the players. If you don't know how to do that, you know, then you shouldn't be managing at the top level of English football. You know, Rafa Benitez would have had this sewn up today. He would have had this won for Newcastle, you know, but again, that's another situation, you know, where Mike Ashley just needed to pay a couple of million here, you know, and he would have had one of the best managers in the Premier League. But of course, you know, he cheaps out and he goes and gets Steve Bruce. I think he actually paid a little bit more for Steve Bruce, to be honest. I think he actually paid I think it was 6 or 7 million or something for Steve Bruce. You know, that money could have been spent on getting Rafa Benitez to stay with the club. Then we could have had Maximin in, you know, we could have had the players what we've got now with Rafa Benitez. We might not have Joe Linton, fair enough, you know, but what would we be missing out on? You know, has Joe Linton really proven that he's worth 40 million? More like 40 fucking pence, to be honest. You know, because he scored against Tottenham and that's it. He hasn't really performed that well. The most recent game what he's performed well in was the game against Everton. You know, and he didn't even fucking score in that one. So that's how bad it's become, you know, with Newcastle at the minute. But let us know your thoughts anyway down in the comments below. Looking at the Premier League table, of course, which will be up on screen now. We are 12th in the league after being 9th over the Christmas period. We're now 12th. We have 25 points out of 21 games, you know, which isn't good, to be honest. We really need to start getting wins on the board. We need to start moving back up the table. You know, a top half finish would be absolutely amazing. But if we can finish just around the 11th spot, then I'll take that. You know, but the way things are going at the moment, it doesn't look good. You know, if it keeps up, then we will be having a relegation battle come the end of the season. But as I say, let us know your thoughts down in the comments below. As always, remember, like, share, subscribe to 100% Mags, and I'll see you all next time. However, lads.